Today we're making a delicious honey soy braised pork and roasted cauliflower with crispy rice. Hi, I'm Angie. Welcome back to Dinner and a Side. My sister Laura and I are making a main dish and a side in our separate kitchens to show you how easy it is to get dinner on the table fast. You won't believe how tasty this honey soy pork is. It's a really simple way to cook tender shredded pork with tons of flavor, and we've paired it with a side of roasted cauliflower. Just wait until you see the magic ingredient. This honey soy pork takes about 3 hours to cook, so you'll have to plan ahead, but it is so worth it. There are a couple of ways that you can cook this, so just choose whichever way you like the best. You can cook it in a Dutch oven, like I'm gonna do today, or you can put it in the slow cooker so it's ready when you get home from work. And if you're in a hurry, you could even put it in the Instant Pot. Whichever way you choose to cook this roast, it's gonna come out amazing, I promise. Like I said, I'm gonna use my Dutch oven today, but if you wanna use one of those other methods, I'll put the instructions in the description. So let's preheat the oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit or 165 degrees Celsius. Whatever pot you're using, make sure it has a lid. Since we're braising this pork, we wanna use a fattier cut, like a shoulder or a butt roast. You could also use a pork sirloin roast. I would just say stay away from a pork loin. Anything with loin in the name is gonna be a leaner cut of meat and it's just not gonna come out as well when we braise it. You can use a bone-in or a boneless roast, either works well. I like to cut the pork into a couple of pieces. It'll cook faster and get more flavorful. It's hard to do with bone-in, just do your best. Now we can make the marinade that the pork is gonna cook in. We need a cup of soy sauce. Be sure to use low or less sodium, half a cup of honey, half a cup of broth, and a tablespoon of toasted sesame oil. Whisk that all up. Pour this mixture right over the pork. Turn the pieces over to get them all coated in the sauce. Add a tablespoon of minced garlic, ginger, and the zest of 1 lime on top of the pork. Cover the Dutch oven with a lid. If you don't have a lid, you can use tin foil. The pork is going to cook in the oven for 3 hours, or up to 6 if you're using a slow cooker. So you don't want to start the side dish until the pork is mostly done. Then we'll check in with Laura for the side dish. You would not believe how good it smells in here. So the pork has been in the oven for about 2 hours now. This is the perfect time to give it a stir, flip the pork over, and get everything mixed up. I think this is where the magic happens. The pork starts to get really tender and soaks up all that flavor. You can tell it's going to taste amazing. All right, 1 more hour to go. Hey guys, I've been patiently waiting over here to get started on the side dish. Angie has about 20 minutes left on her pork timer, and I have about 10 minutes of prep work to do to get this ready for the oven. As soon as that comes out, I'm gonna slide this right into the oven and it's gonna take about 25 minutes to cook. That's a great plan. You know, the pork only gets better as it sits, believe me. Now, if you want to get this all done at the same time and you don't want to wait for the pork to be done in the oven, you can use your air fryer. Our side dish today is a roasted cauliflower with a honey soy sauce, just like the pork. And we're putting a crispy rice on top. If you haven't seen the crispy rice trend yet, it is all over social media. And the first time I made it, I fell in love with it. And it adds a nice crispy element to our cauliflower dish. Laura's always good about jumping on the trends. I have to admit, I hadn't seen it until now. All right, let's give it a try and you'll see how great it is. I'm just gonna cut this cauliflower head up into a bunch of little florets. Put the cauliflower in a bowl. Drizzle on some olive oil.
and season with some salt and pepper. Then spread it out on the baking sheet. Now the cauliflower is ready for the oven. Let's get started on the rice. It's always best to use day-old or cold rice if you can. If you're making it fresh, make sure that you give it a little bit of time to dry out so that it'll get crispier in the oven. Pour on the chili crunch, soy sauce, and sesame oil. Mix that all up. Then spread it out on the baking sheet. And now the rice is ready for the oven. I'll just put these back here until the oven's free. And while we're waiting, I was wondering if maybe you could subscribe to our channel. We have tons of great dinner ideas for you, and we put out a new video every week.
Woohoo! It's finally been 3 hours and the pork is ready. Let's pull it out. Oh, the aroma in here, wow. Let's check to make sure it's done. Oh wow. You know, definitely was worth the time it took to cook this. It's delicious. So Laura, you better finish up that side dish because we're ready to eat here.
Okay, I'm on it. Don't forget to reset your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 200 degrees Celsius. And I'm just gonna slip these in here on the middle rack side by side and let them bake for about 25 minutes. While that's cooking, I will whip up the sauce. Pour in the honey, soy sauce, sriracha, hoisin, not poison. Someone heard me say poison in another episode. This is super simple. Just let it heat up to a low boil until it thickens a bit. You can add a little cornstarch slurry to make it thicker if you want. All right, that's done. Okay, now we can get the food from the oven. Everything looks perfect. Nice crispy rice. I'm gonna put the cauliflower back into the original bowl. Then I'm gonna drizzle on this delicious sauce and I'll give it all a toss just to make sure all the pieces get coated. Pour that all into your serving platter and top it with the crispy rice. I like to garnish with some green onions and black sesame seeds. Just makes it look a little prettier. And that's the side dish done. Angie, are you ready?
I am. Let's serve it up. We're serving family style today, so I'm just gonna load this platter up with the rest of the pork. And don't forget that delicious sauce. We're gonna pour some of that right over the top. Garnish with some green onions, cilantro, and sesame seeds.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more delicious dishes. See you next time.